because grammar is the base of English. So grammar that will strengthen your base and you'll be able to speak correctly. Without grammar, you might be able to speak ultimately if you get yourself admitted to an institute or just communicating with the people who speak. But grammar you have to know anyhow, and for that base the pillar is tense first. Tense and the two chapters. One is active and the passive. The two chapters, as I mentioned in course of talking, so these two chapters play a very vital role in creating the base of your grammar. So these two things you have to know very well. Not just as you mentioned already. Not just in the school it is told changing voice or changing narration or making complex sentence. No. So first you have to know these two things. The difference active, what is active and what is tense. First tense. First there are tense classification. Now present, past, future everybody knows. If I ask a student, somehow he knows the three tense. Present, that is at present role. Past that happened previous and future that will happen. But after that is a classification. There are four categories you know that. Indefinite continuous, perfect, perfect continuous. All same. Past same, future same. So this 4 into 3 ultimately 4 categories if you say indefinite continuous, perfect continuous. So 4 into 3 that means 12. This 12 out of that perfect continuous, sorry future perfect continuous there is not much application. But apart from that, all these things you have to know very well if you really want to learn or speak English correctly. First, this is the first best that you should know tense. What is the difference? Because present, like I do, I am doing, I have done, and I have been doing. All of them are in the same tense. So why there are variety that I am doing. Now, if you do not have the proper knowledge, it will seem every I do you cannot understand the basic primer as you specially mentioned prime. So you cannot understand that primer cannot have difference between I am doing and I have been doing. The difference is continuous tense. So I am doing and I have been doing. There is a difference between the two. So he doesn't know properly. So that is the thing. So you have to know the nitty gritty of it very well. That will give you the strength to speak even. Because unless you do not know, it is very hard for you to start speaking. So grammar you have to, yes, I will mention the grammar you have to know. This is the things. And
if you want to learn the functional communicative English.
yes, both of them you have to continue both of them at the same time. If you want, if he or she wants to learn it, okay, the communication at the same time you can continue both of them. Okay, all right. You are learning grammar as well as you are communicating. That is speaking. You try to look for someone with whom you can communicate. If it is possible for you to get yourself admitted to any institute where English is spoken, you can speak. So then it will create the balance because whatever you are learning, that is practical application. You may learn, but unless there is no any practical application, then you might forget that like any word or idiom. Idiom, there are a lot of idioms. So you are learning that, but right application. Like I was sometimes you will forget because in course of time you may forget that. I already forgotten one idiom that you can lead a horse to water, but you cannot make it drink. But I knew that, but I forgot. I forgot. Why did I forget? Because I didn't use it for long. So that is so the phrase or idioms what you are learning. If you get the scope to apply it in practical field, that will help you more. Because in written English there is not much use of it. Truly speaking, because you are writing an official letter or whatever, you cannot apply this all these idioms and phrases. Okay, all right. So that is why you may lose the memory of that particular idiom. Even the common words. Sometimes the common words, okay, all right, that we forget the common and then look for the word. What is the common? That then we translate. But actually, the single word we forget. The single particular word for that term is forget. That is why we translate from English to somehow we manage. But there is a particular word for that. That may be very common. But still we are not being able to just use that. Like in course of talking, I myself forget that what I was telling that executive is actually it was a clerical job. That the teachers who do all these jobs, the data entry and all, that's called a clerical job. Actually, not executive job. But somehow I forgot because maybe I didn't use it for long. So that is why. So now, if you forget one word, so many words, so many phrasal verbs, think about that phrasal verb, you will definitely forget. So then you lose the vocabulary, the power of your vocabulary. So
How much emphasis do you lay on vocabulary, on the English vocabulary?
yeah,
How much emphasis?
vocabulary definitely plays a very vital role. It is a cherry on the cake, rather I'd say, because good vocabulary, standard vocabulary, if you use, definitely it will spice up your language. As like food, like cook food. So it may be okay, but it may be flavor I've been talking about yummy. But if you spice up that, definitely it will look good and it will attract the eaters. It is someone like that language. So in course of speaking, you may be using some common words. Okay, all right. In the meantime, in course of time, you may apply some. Okay, all right. Apply some idioms, phrases, phrasal words. Okay, all right. So proverbs. There are some proverbs as well. So that will definitely spice up your language and that will attract the listeners as well. Yes, this man knows. Okay, all right. I am other you will speak common, use commoners, all right. But you have to speak correctly. First of all, correctly. Accuracy is the first thing I will say. After that, vocabulary, because a child should first know how to walk, then he should know how to run. So you cannot push a child to start running. Not possible. Then he will fall down. So first is basic. First you know how to speak correctly, and that is grammar. Now you tell a primer as you have asked me. The primer I give you a lot of idioms, phrases, proverbs. He may mark up okay, but application he will wrongly apply it. So wrongly you will misapply. Often you will see also here some students apply, but we know that more often than not, apart from seniors, often it is wrong. So applications do not know. So anyhow they are using it because they have learned. They know a particular idiom. They think okay, here it is. Because all words you cannot apply. You cannot apply any word. One single word has different meanings. It's all right. So the same word you cannot apply everywhere, but